Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Now listen, Libertius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, just like that, we are into the second hour. It is the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. If you missed the first hour, goo for you! Boy, that was a nightmare. We're back on track. Still to come on this show this evening, Chris Allerton, creator of Pocket Pitmaster Pro. And after Chris, we have Joe Veazey from Veazey Studio and the barbecue map, VZstudio.com, and then click on shop if you want to check it out. That's VEAZEY. VEAZEY. VZstudio.com, and then click on store, top of the header, and you can check out the barbecue map that we're talking about as we close the show here this evening. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of the video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/@BBQ Central Show. You can also go to youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. We have a new Would You Rather YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. Would you rather never be able to use search engines again or never use smartphone apps again? And currently 54% of you are saying you would like to nix the googs. So you cannot live without your smartphone. I and Robert Moss believe that we could live without our smartphones because we did that for the first 23 years of our lives. So we're, I don't want to say used to it. We're probably more used to having the phone now, of course. But we certainly lived a lion's share of our lives sans phones. And really sans computers for the most part. The good old days, as old people call those. So 54% of you are saying no on the Google. And that's fine. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less. This coming Friday, episode 416, bringing you back to September 29th of 2009. Wow, this is an old one. This week, featuring a Barbecue Central Show's guest Hall of Famer, and perhaps most importantly, the most important job one could ever have, my mom. Now, within this appearance, it also appears to be the first time that I entitled that recurring segment that we had done for a while, Connie's Recipe Corner. I was just having my mom on. She was sharing recipes, appetizer, main dish, dessert. We would do it once a month. And then I thought we needed to come up with a gimmick, so we called it Connie's Recipe Corner. And I said, hey, with it, you'll hear it Friday. I said, hey, I'm thinking of a name. What do you think about Connie's Recipe Corner? And then, of course, she was like, oh, yeah, it's the best thing ever. And away she went. And then she lands in the Barbecue Central Show's guest Hall of Fame. So within the segment, obviously, we're talking about recipes. They are fall-themed recipes. So while many of us are in the teeth of winter at the moment, might be nice to try out some fall-themed recipes. And while she doesn't give you the whole run during John's Best Moments show, you can click on the link that takes you back to the full show, and you'll be able to get all of the recipes if you would like to do it. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the Best Moments show or this show by visiting thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. And if you would like to hear a past guest or segment that you've heard on the show but you feel has been lost in the archives, email John and let him know what you would like to hear, like our pal Tyler did when he ran 5 or 6 weeks of barbecue roundtables. Brought those back to light, unearthed those relics, and made them famous once again. John's email, by the way, Jon, 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 at thebbqcentralshow.com. And you can put in your request. He'll do his best to meet your expectation. Now, how about this? We're, 2 weeks outside of Christmas. Maybe you haven't gotten to all of your holiday returns. And here's what I have to say to you. Holiday returns still got you in a funk weeks outside of the actual holiday itself. How about this? Outsource it. That's right. A website called Return Queen. For $10 a return, or like everything these days that you buy on the internet, you could subscribe and save cash dollars. For $20 a month, or to subscribe for the entire year and then save an additional $40, because if you're doing $20 a month and there's 12 months in the year, we know that's $240 just to line you up for getting all of your returns handled in your life. You can save an extra $40 if you just pay for it all up front. $200 a year, and you can outsource your returns. Now, what does that mean? Let's say you're a big Amazon buyer. Let's say you're a big online buyer. Why not? Let's say every once in a while you might go to the store. Okay. You decide you don't want something that you bought online. Happens all the time. Returns are very easy on Amazon, of course, if you're into that. But let's say you can't even be bothered with such nonsense. You go to Return Queen, you pay your $200 a year or your $20 a month or your $10 per return. And obviously, if you're going to return more than 2 things every month, then you should just be paying the $20 per month. Here's what you do. You gather up all your returns. You can stick them in a big-ass trash bag if you want. Any bag. Stick it outside. Schedule your pickup. Return Queen comes and gets it off the front of your house. And you don't even need to tell them anything. Somehow, through the magic of magic, they can find your return labels. They will package it up for you. And then they will send it back to the vendor from whence you purchased. Or if you got it online, or if you got it in person, and it meets whatever certain guidelines they have for returning it in person, you don't have to go to the mall. No, sir. You can have Return Queen do it for you. They will wait in the lines at the stores and do the returns for you. So I'm asking you this, as discernible, recreational, and discriminatory dollars become tougher and tougher to come by. Are you paying $200 a year to be on the Return Queen list? Because you know right off the top of your head that $200, the ROI on that $200 for the year is going to be a quick payoff. You're somebody that's online, you're ordering because you're depressed, and ordering things online and getting shit shipped to your house makes you feel good, and then it shows up at your house, and then what? You have buyer's remorse, so then you got to return everything, and it's a vicious cycle. Here's a way to break the cycle. You don't have to return it at all. Paid that $200 to Return Queen in the beginning of the year. You just throw everything in the boxes or the bags that it came with and just shovel it all back outside. Schedule the pickup by Return Queen, and boom, they just magically take care of it. You're alerted as the returns happen. And then tomorrow, when your next round of buying to hopefully cure your depression shows up, and you repeat the cycle again, you can just kick everything back out on the front porch. Why not? Seems like a great idea to me. Perfect. I love the way they have positioned the subscription model, making it look like the way more attractive option. I believe out of all the subscriptions, because what happens? You subscribe to something, what's the hope from the person you're subscribing to? Oh, I hope they get it and use it all the time. No, they don't. They want they want them to give you your money. They want you to give them your money and then hope you forget about it. Right? Yes, of course. If I had a subscription service, that's exactly what I would want to have happen. Pay me $200 to listen to the show. I hope you forget about the show, and that you also forget that every January you're going to renew. Oh, sorry, we renewed. You got to cancel it for next year, but you get all the rest of the year. Subscription, very good, Return Queen, because quickly $10 a return adds up, right? I mean, I'm no math scientist, but if I'm doing 10 returns at $10 a pop, or the one, I believe that's $10,000, right? You're right. It would make sense that even just doing the $20 for that 1 month that you might be very busy at would be cheap. Return Queen. What will you people think of next? Anyway, Chris Allerton is in the green room, and we'll get to him here in just 1 second. Before we do that, Big Papa Smokers is here to remind you it's a new year, and then you should be looking at new barbecue goals. Fire up your flavor game with Big Papa Smokers, your one-stop shop for championship barbecue seasonings, like the award-winning Sweet Money Rub, the competition favorite Brisket and Steak Rub, my personal veggie favorite rub, Desert Gold. I also like jalapeno, Hallelujah jalapeno. I also like Little Louis seasoned salt. Now that I think about it, that might be my favorite rub of all. No, it's Sweet Money. No, it's Little Louis. Can it be both? Whether you're cooking for trophies or for the neighborhood, make sure this year you master bold, unforgettable flavors. Shop now at BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BigPapaSmokers.com. And use promo code REMPE26 at checkout to get free shipping. That's REMPE26, all together, no spaces, REMPE26 at checkout to get free shipping. Exclusions apply. Again, BigPapaSmokers.com, promo code REMPE26 to get free shipping. Big Papa Smokers, real barbecue, real results. We're back to talk Pocket, Pitmaster, Pro. Stick around.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And we welcome you back. I think I could ditch that. Well, we had a tragic first hour. So, tragedy either ensues in the second hour or we put it behind us. Gang, technology is changing and evolving rapidly. Why not use these tools to help out when you are getting ready to cook outdoors, live fire, or even in the house? My first guest in the second hour has just launched an app with a website soon to follow in hopes of helping you figure out a lot of these things before you even start cooking. We race to the hotline and welcome first-time guest, creator of the Pocket Pitmaster Pro, Chris Allerton, to the show. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Greg. How are you?
I'm fine, and we have a Would You Rather YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody before we get started here this evening. Chris, would you rather never be able to use search engines again or never use smartphone apps again?
I think this is a trick question, Greg.
No.
This is a trick question. I'm showing you an app. Well, I mean, of course, this is a trick question.
Yes,
but of course, I was around before, the internet, so I could honestly, I could live without either. I was around.
53.
I'm a 70s baby.
53% of the YouTube voting public are saying they will cut the wireless. So it was nixing the Googs before, and then somewhere in the midst of my Robert Moss conversation, the tides turned, and people are cutting out the phones. I am a phone denier, if at all possible, but it is part and parcel of human condition these days. Anyway, so we're having you on. We're going to be talking about Pocket Pitmaster Pro, but we have some shared things in common. Number one, you are a fellow Buckeye, which we certainly appreciate. Are you a long time? Are you a forever Buckeye, or did you make your way to the state of Ohio?
No, I'm a forever Buckeye. I was born and raised in Columbus, so yeah, I'm definitely born and bred OH. So yeah.
Also, and perhaps even more importantly than us sharing a state of residence, actually way more important, I graduated from and attended, you also attended Ohio University, not Ohio State. Fuck you, Buckeyes, with your The Ohio State University. What do we all know to be true and factual? Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, the first college ever founded in the state of Ohio. So Columbus, take whatever jealousy you have, put it in your pipe, and smoke it. What was one thing or one big influence and memory that you can remember from Athens that you might think have shaped your entrepreneurial spirit today?
Just actually seeing Court Street on Halloween. Like that, honestly, I mean, I guess you say remember, I kind of remember
tongue-in-cheek
Halloweens. Yeah. I was there, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was there. So, but yeah, that's, I mean, spending time at the greenery and just really good times down there. Like clearly too good of times. I left OU and went to, Tampa to go finish culinary school. So, yeah.
So were you somebody that was always interested in food around it, or did you grow into an interest?
Yeah. No, I was raised, I had a little short New York Jewish grandmother that just loved to cook, and she loved to show it. She showed me, basically how to cook meat. I mean, just basically like brisket, especially. She definitely was big into brisket being, But yeah, I learned there. And then, of course, I started throwing parties in high school, and I built a grill to put over top of my fire pit, which was 6 foot deep. And we would throw, steaks and burgers on and everything like that while, we're enjoying our libations.
So you end up in Tampa. Do you graduate eventually?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yep. We sure do. I'm actually in a little celebratory mood this evening. I'm officially a village councilman.
Are you? Look at you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Yep. Congrats.
Yeah, and I also just signed a deal to open a restaurant today.
Wow.
So we are rocking and rolling, Greg. We are
new
really
political life. You have a new financial scary life with the restaurant.
Yeah,
we all know about restaurants. Yes, but you have the educational background behind you, so hopefully that serves you well. Is it a barbecue restaurant, or what's the fare?
Well, I'm going to actually be running the entire program, and it's actually out of a place called Connections West, and they do rehabilitation for folks that have been incarcerated. Mm-hmm. I'm going to run barbecue out of there for a while, and we are actually going to open a cafe after probably about March. We're going to open up a full cafe so that those guys can come in. I'm going to teach a serve safe class to them so they can have some real life, experience. We're going to get them into the restaurant and just kind of create, I guess it would be like a funnel to other restaurants and things like that. So we're doing a lot of good things here.
Do you have a other than just being a magnanimous individual, do you have a tie back to jail or prisons or anything like that you said, hey, when I have the ability to potentially help people enter the workforce, I want to be able to provide something?
You might say that. I was the food service director for a prison here locally and in the Lancaster area. And there was a lot of folks in there that, they were good people. They had bad days. I mean, of course, there were the bad people, but, there were some good people in there that just legitimately had bad days or a bad go. And, those guys deserve a shot, just like we've all, we all could have ended up somewhere we shouldn't have been. Yep. So, so that's where I'm at. I'm trying to, just do this as more of a, I want to teach. Like, that's the main thing. I want to teach. I want to teach these guys.
All right, so let's merge over into Pocket Pitmaster Pro here. Finish up with that. Before we dive into the tech, let's talk a little fire and smoke. What was your aha moment with outdoor cooking, and what was the main frustration in your own cooking process that led you to think there might be a better way?
Well, my own aha moment was watching that Cajun guy. I can't remember his name.
Justin Wilson?
Yes. Yeah. The Cajun guy. So, okay, Justin Wilson. I was watching him, and he did a pork butt. And I think I was maybe a sophomore in high school, which would have been like 92, 93. And it's just like he did this pork butt and he studded it with garlic. I asked my grandma, I was like, can I get a pork butt? We didn't have a charcoal grill. So I smoked this thing on the gas grill, but I took like chips. Yeah, I know, right? I took chips and stabbed holes in foil, and just used it like that. I mean, it worked out. I mean, and then I decided that there was not a barbecue sauce that I had tasted that was any good.
Like, Open Pit wasn't doing it for you?
No, I was a KC Masterpiece guy, though.
I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah. It's just high fructose corn syrup.
That's right.
So, yep. But yeah, that's, I mean, and through the years, I really enjoyed just cooking outdoors, just being outdoors and throwing those parties, to be honest with you, really kind of set the tone, for what my hospitality career kind of looks like. It's just like I've always wanted to have people enjoy themselves. And I think that, when you bring food into the mix, it just brings a whole nother level of love to, just everything that everything that I can give to the people. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I mean, and I love barbecue, and I've been doing it for a long time. I really have.
There's many recipe apps out there. What specific problem were you seeing in the outdoor cooking community that, the hobbyist, the weekender, the pitmaster, current tools and resources, they just weren't solving, leading you to do the Pocket Pitmaster?
There's just nothing out there was comprehensive enough. Like, you can go find a meat volume quantity calculator, online, or you can go ask AI or whatever. But there's nothing there that was all cohesive and put together. The Pocket Pitmaster Pro solves all of that. Like, you can go there, you can check how many numbers of guests, up to 100 guests. You can adjust your serving size. You can pick your meat type. And when I say pick your meat type, I don't mean just, ribs, chicken, brisket. I mean, you can go get some goat, some elk, alligator tail. How about an ostrich fan? Sure. I'll tell you how long you need to cook that. I mean, you can select your pit. So there's offset. I mean, we go Kamado, pellet, gravity, vertical fed, as many as I could pot. Like, I just wanted to get everything that came out of my head into this app that goes with, with barbecue. And the things that I would want to know as a novice, these are all things that I would want to know.
So you've gone to school for culinary. You went to OU as well, not culinary. Are you also a side app developer or IT expert? Like, how I appreciate you wanting to figure something out and get it to the general public, but like I want to do that too. But of course, there's this whole middle piece that I don't know how to do
absolutely.
to get that rubber to the road. So how do you do that?
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, this is legitimately. I asked God. I said, God, I was like, I need something. I need something that that I can give to the people. And I woke up the next day and I said, you know what? I said that, and I looked online. I looked up to see if there's barbecue apps. Of course, there are barbecue apps.
Yeah, sure.
But there wasn't anything that was just this cohesive. I am legitimately creating an operational intelligence barbecue platform. So I'm not just, this isn't just like, your timers and things like that. This, like, once I get everything like done, I actually, and I wanted to thank you, by the way. I have to thank you for this, for the Rempe time to done calculator.
Yes.
So when that is 100%, yes, for the Rempe time to done calculator, because you mentioned it to me and I'm like, I mean, that was my aha moment right there. I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, of course people are going to want to know when it's going to be done. So yeah, thank you for that aha moment there. I really appreciate that. So
how are you making the app? Like, how do you do that? I can't just jump on the computer and make an app.
The hell you can.
No, I can't. I can barely put a live production together. Just go back and listen to the first hour.
I was there. Yes. No, but I legitimately I learned some coding. I mean, it's kind of on the fly. It was on the fly, legitimately on the fly. And I actually have AI attached to this app. So I refer to it as the barbecue genie. So you got you basically have 3 barbecue genie wishes. And as long as it pertains to barbecue, smoking, grilling, recipe, it will answer your question. And it's spot on. I mean, it's very in depth. So I think the 3 questions is enough. We're at some point when we grow the community, and I'm putting this out to your listeners now. The app, with the link that we have right now, I want your listeners to go in, and I have a feedback form, and it sends an email directly to me with the feedback from when someone goes through and cooks. So, I mean, I have, a bunch of questions like, what's your experience level? Backyard enthusiast up to commercial caterer. What kind of rig do you have? What kind of thermometer are you using? I mean, and then like I go to questions about like what I do. So, we go through the pit math. Like, you get your yield loss and how close was it to that? So it's like 1 to 5. You get the fuel burn off. That's 1 to 5 as well. And then of course there are like the hard questions are the one thing. What do you still guess at during a cook? I when to wrap, whatever you want to say. What kind of integration would you find most valuable? So I'm pulling all of this information so that in the future I can go in and there's a monitor tab, and I am planning on getting thermometers, wireless thermometers that I can attach to this, and we can legitimately create a whole barbecue community with monitors and everything.
So these would be Pocket Pitmaster Pro branded thermometers?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I've already been in talks with that, so we're working on that as we speak. So
tariffs not an issue anymore?
Tariffs are always an issue. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And the app is available if I go into my Google Play Store or my Apple App Store. If you had an iPhone, can I get it, or when is launch?
Not at the moment. I am. I will ask you if you would post a link for me. That would be super.
Yeah.
To the app. And just like I said, I'm doing this for about. I'm going to do it up through March. So anybody that joins the Founder Circle now, you're going to get like extra. You're going to get like the blog and the vlogs and all that stuff, and then. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking all the community's information and I'm feeding it back into the app. so we can just, it's legitimately like a community app, and I love it. It's, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I woke up one day and realized that I think we need this. I think so.
Looking ahead, 12, 24 months from now, what's the next game-changing feature that you're most excited to introduce about Pocket Pitmaster Pro?
Definitely the pit monitor, but also increasing the community. I would like to do like basically a community where you can share pictures, and it's just for us barbecue guys. It's not a social media. It's like it's more of a community. Like that's what I'm looking for. I don't want it to be like a whole back and forth thing with like social media and some of those pages. I don't want it to be like that. We all need to be rooting for each other. This meat's expensive. This sport's expensive.
Yeah.
This just everything's expensive. And that's what my app brings to this. Like you're legitimately saving yourself money by using this app.
Do we have, so you're going to send that to me, like should I be on the lookout within the next week or so, or is there any like drop dead point that you want to have everything, ready to go so we can launch the app?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be next week.
Okay, next week.
Yeah, great. It'll be next week for sure. Yeah, well, like I said, I think I said, of course I sent you the link originally, but I'll send it back to you. And, I definitely would like to get some feedback from everybody. And look, do your worst. Go out on the worst possible day. And it's something that you think that would be absolutely insane to cook, and do it. And just share your feedback with me so that we can make this, the best barbecue app there is. That's it.
Well, we're looking forward to the progress. It's called the Pocket Pitmaster Pro, and the creator is Chris Allerton right here. Chris, appreciate the time here this evening. Looking forward to getting that link, sharing it out, and we'll see how much we can crowdsource help for you. By the way, congratulations on the election into politics and the restaurant as well. So looking forward to getting caught up on all that next time you're in. Appreciate the time tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You got it. Chris Allerton right there. And he is joining us just south and east of Columbus. By the way, noble restaurant endeavor that he's doing, helping formerly incarcerated ex-cons to get back into the workforce. Good for you. All right. Joe Veazey is in the green room, ready to go. Before we get to him, I will talk to you quickly about McAuliffe Cigars. Step into the world of McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. Their portfolio is a symphony of flavors, each note carefully composed to create an unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. They have a huge portfolio of cigars, each one better than the next. Of course, we love the Color Series, not only for flavor and the awards that they've won, but because the price point is unbeatable in Robusto, in Toro. They're great. Black, blue, red, purple, green, white's coming out here shortly. In touch with Amanda McAuliffe to try and get her on so we can talk about the launch of the white when that happens. Anyway, McAuliffeCigars.com is the place to go. Use the locator to find a retailer near you. And McAuliffe is spelled MICALLEF, McAuliffeCigars.com. Barbecue maps. Yeah, let's do that next.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Craig Rempe.
And we thank Chris Allerton for joining us. last segment, Pocket Pitmaster Pro. I just dropped a link in the YouTube chat, so go ahead and click that. Give me your feedback if you're so interested. Coming out of the bullpen tonight is an award-winning designer and illustrator based in Atlanta, Georgia. He has worked for such companies and or brands as Adult Swim on the Cartoon Network and as art director for the fashion brand Aze Day Jean-Pierre. The phrase putting it on the map is one thing, but this guy has literally put people and places on a map for a living, and his latest piece pays tribute to the iconic barbecue places across this country. We welcome first-time guest Joe Veazey to the show. Hey, Joe.
How's it going, Greg? Thanks so much for having me on.
Fabulous. Appreciate you making time for the show here this evening. Before we get going, we have a YouTube Would You Rather YouTube poll question of the week, so we're asking everybody, including all guests, would you rather never be able to use search engines again or never use smartphones again?
I'd probably rather never use smartphones again. I'm always trying to limit my use, and I feel like they're out of hand with what they do now.
55%. Just ticked back up. 55% of the YouTube voting public is in agreement with you and me. We would rather ditch the phone and keep the Googs. Now, I don't know how old you are, but I certainly remember the first 20 plus years of my life having no phone at all or any concept other than like my dad had a car phone that like went on the wheel well, but certainly never thought that would eventually go in my pocket. So I could ditch the phone, I guess, if I had to. Quick background on you before we get into barbecue maps and maybe some of the other stuff. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up? And when did you decide that being an artist was going to be your deal?
Yeah, I was born in Fort Myers, Florida, but only lived there a couple of years. Moved to Atlanta probably around, I want to say, first or second grade. So I claim Atlanta, the Atlanta suburbs. And I was pretty much always an artist, was constantly drawing, colored pencils and markers and everything, just nonstop, to the point where it was kind of just known that he's going to be an artist. So finished up high school, kind of would do all the art competitions in school, was hand painting custom sneakers for everybody. And it was just kind of it was very clearly my path.
At that age, do you have a specialty? I mean, it sounds like you're drawing, you're coloring, you're doing sneakers. There's a lot of different things going on. Did you know you were always going to be somebody that was going to be dabbling in a bunch of stuff, or did you think at some point you might hone in on I'm going to be a painter or an artist this way, or I'm going to do something else?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I definitely had certain inclinations that kept coming up over and over again, like sometimes humor, sometimes a lot of detail, kind of a playfulness, colorfulness. So it wasn't necessarily a particular medium that I would always want to use, but it was certain traits that were, I guess, just how my personality came out onto the page. So, yeah.
You a guy that loves live fire, barbecue, grilling, or you just love eating it, or both? Cooking?
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually don't do too much barbecuing myself. I try a little bit here and there, and usually doesn't turn out the best. But I'm more of a live fire guy, so I have a fire in my backyard that I'll get together, and grew up camping a lot and loved making a meal over the fire. So that's kind of my thing, but I'm always trying to get more into barbecuing, and it's just something I feel like I'm going to get into as I get older as well.
I mean, you've certainly set a lot of great groundwork for you to get into it, and I'm segueing that into the barbecue map, of course. So I read that you personally visited over 150 restaurants to research this map. And, of course, to me, other than Daniel Vaughn, Texas Monthly's barbecue editor, I don't know a lot of people that are going to that many different places. What was the criteria for a barbecue place to make the final cut on the map?
Yeah, so really hard to set that criteria. Yeah. And I knew no matter what I did, people were going to be pissed off, and there was going to be, a hellstorm of emails and whatnot. So I tried to base it on a few things that I thought were really important. One, I definitely factored in longevity. So I tried to give a little more seniority to the places that have been around for a long time. I tried to factor in whether or not they were an institution of their region style. So there's a lot of great Texas style spots all over the country. I tried to put them in when they were like absolutely necessary, but I didn't want to overdo other places' styles in other places. So Atlanta, for instance, Fox Brothers, it's always at the top of the list. It had to be on there for Atlanta, even though it's not Atlanta or Georgia style. But in general, I tried not to go overboard with different regions. I also went through all of the lists, the national list, Texas monthly list, as you mentioned, local list, just everything I could read. So if they're mentioned in national list, that was definitely a big plus. And then last but not least was Reddit pages. So I'd go to the big debate pages on what's the best barbecue place in town on any state, any region, any city, and just read through everything and tried to give a little bit of the people's choice to it. And kind of factored all those in, tried to keep my personal opinion down to very small and just get the iconic institutions.
I feel like you should give your personal opinion maybe a little bit more weight, because you end up spending 375 hours physically hand painting this map in a world that is quickly becoming dominated by AI and digital design. Why is it important for you to create this as a physical hand painted artifact?
Yeah, I mean, I got into art and design because I love doing stuff by hand. That if it was all computer, kind of like it is now when I started, I may have not even gone that direction. So for me, if I'm going to spend a lot of time making something kind of detailed and precious, I'm just not going to do it unless I'm making something by hand. It makes it enjoyable. I look forward to it every day. I generally try to spend an hour or two a day working on detailed maps. So doing it by hand is just something I look forward to every day. I'm always excited to do it. I never have to force myself to do it. And anything on the computer, I have to force myself a little bit more to do.
I couldn't imagine like paying 375 hours. I mean, that is a worldwide level of commitment. When you decide you're going to do the barbecue map, are you just in a state of mind of like, this is a project I'm thinking of? Like, how do you start before you actually like get on the canvas and start painting state number one?
Yeah, well, I guess I started with the Atlanta Rap Map was my first project, and it just kind of came to me. It was if I'm going to do a project that's really detailed, which I was doing for clients, and it was really tough to do because, the legal department at the company could come back and make you redraw a whole section, or even if you were doing it digitally, you're still drawing every line with a stylus or with a tablet. So I didn't feel like it was a huge shortcut doing it digitally, and I realized that it wasn't paying a whole lot. You didn't own the rights to it when you were done. So I thought, if I have this urge to create this type of image, let me do it for myself about something I cared about. So I started with the music that I grew up on, and then had a lot of success with that, and started to realize that this had more legs than doing freelance work or anything I'd really done in graphic design. So another day, barbecue just came to mind. That it was like, that's what's next, because I've always loved it. I've always done road trips based around them. Explored and read everything I could on. It's always been just a huge passion of mine. So I thought this will be easy to motivation is there. Yeah. I'll be excited every day to work on this.
How do you know there's an audience for it? I mean, you can be inspired, you can put in the time, but how do you know you're going to be able to turn it?
Yeah, you don't. And the whole time you're working on it, you're wondering if anyone's going to care. So you really have to like it yourself. You really have to care. You know what I mean? And I think the more of these I do, the more I learn. So after the barbecue map, I started doing smaller maps that are half size and that are hand drawn instead of painted. So these I can crank out in less than a month. And I started with the Georgia barbecue map, and North Carolina's coming. I've got a couple others in the works, but I'm cranking these out as many as I can a year. And I think this will be a really good crash course on what do people respond to? What do people get excited about? What goes viral on social media? And will kind of inform my direction of what topics to choose in the future.
You said the barbecue rap map kind of set you on your course for future maps, and you were happy with the success of it. I mean, you don't have to give me exact figures here, but like, Are you making tens of thousands of dollars off the rap map, or hundreds of thousands of dollars? Like, what's a commercial success for something like that?
Yeah, definitely not 100,000s yet, but I'd say about 6 months ago, I've been doing this full time and able to make it. So nowhere near where I want to get with it, but it's enough to kind of proof of concept and keep going on it. Yeah.
Well, do you expect the barbecue map?
There's so much to learn.
Yeah, of course. Do you expect the barbecue map to outsell the rap map?
Yeah, I did when I started working on it, because I was just thinking that the Atlanta rap map was so specific to one genre of music in one city of the country, and barbecue is just spreads everywhere. But I think it didn't sell as much right off the bat. I think because the rap map just kind of went viral a little bit harder. It just spread like wildfire. The barbecue map's having a little bit of a slower build, but it's definitely getting out there. And I think that I think the next 5 to 10 years of the barbecue map is just going to go up and up as more people find it and get through the right avenues and continue vending. I go to a lot of festivals in the city and just constantly meeting people out of state that want a copy. So it's been a really interesting journey so far, learning what gets it to sell and what gets eyes on it, and just trying something new every week, just day after day.
The map includes a timeline that specifically credits indigenous people of the East Coast and Caribbean with invention of barbecue. Was it a goal of yours to, make sure that you are correcting any non-correct records of barbecue history rather than just focusing on modern celebrity pitmaster?
Yeah, you know what? It was. And I didn't really know the deep history of it like that. And a lot of that came from Robert Moss's, basically the textbook of barbecue and all the other writings. I scoured every book I could get my hands on. But yeah, I originally didn't know that it is a Native American invention. And in fact, for about 100 years, it was referred to as cooking in the Indian way, which was really fascinating. Obviously the Europeans came in and brought the vinegar and introduced the hogs and the livestock, and then African Americans brought in flavor profiles and really became the prominent pitmasters for the next couple hundred years and evolved into what it was today. So it's truly an American thing that everybody participated in, everybody still participates in. I think it's a really beautiful thing that it doesn't get credit for.
So I want to throw up a picture of the barbecue map here while we got it. And so if you're interested, I just go to vzstudio.com and easy enough for me to find, or is there a particular place I want to navigate to my hands on the map?
Yeah, you can just type in AmericanBBQMap.com and it'll link you right there to the VZ Studio store.
And the layout is very interesting. So you got kings and queens there in the Gulf of Mexico, and you have stories kind of down bordering on the bottom border there. And then, of course, as we make our way through the various states of the country, you have those restaurants that you decided to spotlight in each of those states. Is it regional that also helps make a restaurant in that particular area? Like if you're in a region of that barbecue, you're going to stand out because, typically, there's a lot of bad things about Ohio. The weather, transient business, nobody's really coming here to hang, the list goes on and on. So I certainly didn't expect to see Cleveland or Ohio on this map, but how does being in a barbecue mecca help somebody get on that map?
Yeah, so there was a lot of hard decisions to make, and decisions that I knew would make some people unhappy, but I had to fight the good fight and make them. So I tried to include any state or city that lays claim to its own authentic, original style of barbecue. So Chicago, Links and Tips, Santa Maria style barbecue is the tri-tip. Ribs in Alabama, Brunswick stew and chopped pork in Georgia. These are areas that have their own signature style. And I try to include every one of those, including some satellite locations like Hawaii and Kansas City. And even Baltimore has something called pit beef that I'd never heard of before. But I always say places like Connecticut or Arizona or Ohio have some tremendous barbecue. There's people that are cooking amazing stuff. There's backyard smokers. There's renowned restaurants, Michelin star restaurants in all those states, but it's usually taking its inspiration from the South or from one of those featured regions. And I don't think anybody could really debate that. Now, it's always changing. Barbecue is a living, breathing culture, so new styles will emerge, new regions should be put on the map in the future, and new inventions are being made every day. So it's definitely open to being revised over time, and I look at it as a multi-decade project that I'll just paint new things and Photoshop them in as needed and clear out the closed restaurants and keep it moving.
So for the listeners who are going to grab a print, I think it's also important that they know that you're also supporting in some way the Southern Foodways Alliance with this release. So can you tell us a little bit about why you chose them as a beneficiary?
Yeah, we've been working with them. They're an amazing organization. They've done a lot of work documenting food culture, especially in the South. And I'd used so many of their little documentaries, and they did a bunch of short documentaries and just research that they've done and compiled a lot of it informed the map. For the Atlanta Rat Map, I gave a portion of the proceeds to Hope Atlanta, which helped out with homelessness and hunger in the city. So for the barbecue, I thought it would be fun to do something more for culture. So awesome organization. They've been great to work with. They've hooked me up with a lot of people and helped to get the word out. So happy to around the year mark, we're going to make a donation to them. Really excited to be able to do that. And I try to have an aspect like that to all the big maps.
Do they invite you to Camp Brisket?
No, I haven't received the invitation yet, but...
well, they just had it last week in Texas A&M, I believe. So they have it like... I don't know if they have it a couple times a year or once a year, but I know you gotta know somebody in the Southern Foodways Alliance. Or, I mean, I just can't go. I would need to get an invite, I believe. So we'll have to figure maybe next year we can leverage the barbecue map. We can both go there together.
Yeah. Well, I corresponded with John T. Edge a little bit, so maybe that's a good first start.
He's a great writer, by the way.
Yeah, very good.
Are you friends with him?
No, just corresponded a little bit through the SFA.
Is he gonna be writing a book on you, maybe?
I don't think so.
No, all right. So what's outside of this? What are some other projects you're working on? I mean, I gotta say, before you answer that, you got to be like the most accomplished person I've ever had on the show. Like I go through your about who you've worked with and brands you've worked with. I mean, I fail to come up with other human beings that are professionally as accomplished as you are. So, I mean, humble thanks for showing up here tonight.
Well, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. Outside of the just promotion of the barbecue map, the Atlanta Rat Map was featured in the #1 current Netflix show in the background in a pivotal shot. So that's kind of what I've been celebrating this week. And then working on a couple of freelance projects. I've started to get some commission map work. So one for a college, and then working on, I haven't announced this yet, but the next map is actually going to be the Atlanta Gentlemen's Club map. So we've gone deep through the wild history of Atlanta strip club scene. And let me tell you, I've uncovered some stories. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Can't imagine what that map's going to look like.
Yeah, and that one I'm going a little more direction of it's almost turning into a Where's Waldo with all the characters, all the celebrities. I mean, Bill Gates was hanging out at the Gold Club, believe it or not, and Madonna and Michael Jordan. It's just insane. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one for sure. It's got a lot of history, and if you're uncovering some stuff that you're excited about, then I'm doubly excited. So if you are interested, by the way, in this barbecue map, visit the website AmericanBBQMap.com and grab yourself a copy. Like, how big is it, and how does it ship to the customer?
Yeah, it's the same exact size as the painting, which I did so you don't lose an ounce of detail. Nothing gets compressed or pixelated or stretched or anything. It's 24 inches by 36, 2 by 3 feet, which is a standard poster size, meaning you can go to Walmart or Target and get a frame for it, unless you want to spend a couple $100 and get a real nice custom framed and matte on it, which I'd recommend. But it's a nice big poster, takes up some good wall space, and is a real conversation starter in the home.
Where's the original piece at?
It's hanging at home. I got it framed really nice. It's right next to the Rat Map and some of the other originals, and just waiting on the right offer.
How much?
We'll see. I got some vague numbers in mind one day. I think if I can let them sit for a good decade, maybe get a little more clout to my name, maybe I'll make an offer with somebody one day.
How about $1,000 cash?
Offer denied.
Oh, all right. Well,
give me a week and come back with a new figure. We'll talk.
You missed 100% of the shots that, come back with a new offer. Don't come back with the same offer. Come back with a new offer.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. All right, we're talking with Joe Veazey. He has painted the barbecue map, the American barbecue map, which you can buy a copy of or a print of over at his website, or go to the AmericanBBQMap.com website. That'll link you right there, and you can go ahead and grab yourself a copy, 2 feet by 3 feet, which is poster size, as he had just mentioned. So highly recommend you do it. Joe, certainly appreciate the time here tonight. Continued success. And next time you want to come back on and really talk about anything, I'm happy to have you.
I appreciate you having me so much. And hit me up next time you're in Atlanta. We can take that Gentleman's Club map on a tour.
All right. I will do that. Thanks, Joe. And by do that, I mean I'm never going to do that. Secretly, I would never. Honey, I would never do that. Joe, I'll call you. All right. That is Joe Veazey. Again, the website. So you can go to 2 websites. You can go to veazeystudio.com, VEAZEY studio.com, or AmericanBBQMap.com. And you can get the print of the map right there by using the link AmericanBBQMap.com. He sounded great. Had some great lighting. And his tech guy really hooked him up, which I appreciate. All right, let's get out of here real quick. We'll come back and wrap the show. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Let's get back to a guy who has more experience giving you his opinion than he actually has cooking. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back, and we thank Joe Veazey for joining us last segment, talking about the American barbecue map, and then, of course, he had the Atlanta Wrap map as well. So if you are into specifically Atlanta Wrap or specifically Georgia barbecue, you can get those as well. All right, let's go ahead and make tracks all the way back in the first hour. It was a nightmare. I actually have editing to do, which, hopefully, if you're listening to this in audio replay, you didn't really notice too much other than it was a little less lengthy in the first hour than normal, but we'll work through that. Programming note, there is a good chance there is no show next week because I will definitely not be in town. But we will be back on the 27th, where we will have the CEO and co-founder of the Barbecue World Cup. And then Memphis and May's Kevin Grothy will be in, I believe, the week after that. So looking forward to catching up, meeting the Barbecue World Cup guy, and then catching up with Kevin Grothy from Memphis and May. In the second hour, so we had Robert Moss to close the first hour. Second hour, Chris Allerton, Pocket Pitmaster Pro, and then closing the show, Joe Veazey from the Veazey Studio with the American barbecue map. Won't see you next week, but I'll be back. So 2 weeks from tonight, How Do I Always Leave? Is September 11, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, Shaboom! Shaboom!
Hi, this is Gene Acasella from Port St. John, Florida, and you're listening to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show.